President Donald Trump declares himself a proud nationalist. I'm Nathan Seelove, and this is Factually Biased. So this week, President Donald Trump declared in a rally in Texas that he is absolutely a nationalist. Now, this prompted some backlash because the word nationalism is often associated with the Nazis, the National Socialists, and also associated with white nationalists. But I want to take a step back from that for just a sec, because I don't want it to seem like I'm committing the guilty by association fallacy. So I don't want it to sound like I'm automatically saying that Donald Trump is just as bad as a Nazi because he uses the word nationalist and they also use the word nationalist. So let's take a step back and look at the definition of nationalist in its purest form. So nationalism is a national consciousness that exalts one nation above all others and emphasizes the promotion of that nation's culture. Now, there are many ways that I think that nationalism is inherently problematic. First off, that sense of superiority, that consciousness of superiority, makes cooperation with other countries more difficult. Second, I think that this idea of inherent superiority kind of creates this consciousness of we can do no wrong, which I think that's not a good way of going about running a nation. I think that a nation should be able to admit when it does something wrong, to admit when it makes mistakes, so that it can fix them. Just sitting there thinking that we're the best often does us a disservice and often makes us less likely to change for the better. And the third reason why nationalism is inherently problematic, I would say, is because we talked about how nationalism is about the promotion of a culture. Now, what that often translates into is the dominant culture, which kind of takes us back to why the Nazis were nationalists. Because to them, the culture of Germany was an Aryan culture, and they believed that that culture was superior to all others. Now, they took that to an extreme, and I don't think that that's what Trump meant. In fact, I would even go a step further. I don't think that consciously, when Trump called himself a nationalist, that he was even thinking about the idea of race. I don't think that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm willing to say that I think that it was more about a declaration of the nation itself. However, I still think that this idea of placing our nation above all others simply because we happen to be born in it, we happen to be Americans, it destroys incentives for cooperation. Instead, what I think we should be is patriotic. Patriotism is different than nationalism. Patriotism is love for one's country. Love. And I think that it's important to say that a country is not the soil that you walk on. It's the people. Just like a home isn't a house, it's where your heart is. It's where people that you care about are, where you feel safe. And patriotism starts with loving fellow Americans, with loving those around us. Not necessarily because we think they're superior, but because we are brethren. We're on this world, on this planet together. And we happen to live in this country. And I think that if we if we fix the narrative from being one of nationalism and superiority to one of love and care for one another, that is how you build a more perfect union. And I think that Donald Trump has made a major mistake in disregarding the power of patriotism. So that's what I got for you all today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a comment down below, give us a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and I hope everyone has a wonderful week.